Oh, okay. So welcome back from a long break, and after you took the midterm, okay. So welcome back to our CSCI 465 for Smart Things Security. Okay, for today's lab, I mainly focus on how can we set up. So mainly would be this part I will cover with the engineers, and then how can we try to do the reverse policy. Okay, and that's why how can we when we have access, like maybe using an IP address or domain, okay, how can we serve it and then set the policy redirect to your local host 3000 your express 3 GS, okay. And mainly just let you have some background knowing. So for Nginx, so it will be a high preference web server and reverse the policy. And as we know, we're using the Express JS, so it will be really fast and pulling Node.js web application framework, okay. And that's what we're going to use, like increase the security, okay. Maybe in the lecture or some lab and tell, okay, you need to install it, okay. And for this time, we will need to install it, okay. The one we use, maybe use the Let's Encrypt, and also what I will cover one part is called using the self-sign certificate, okay. So we'll generate our own, okay. And also we will let the MTX to act like the intermediate between the client and then the Express.js app. So it will be like handled as a reverse proxy. So we will handle all the requests and adding some security layers. Okay, that's how we're going to do. And what's the benefits we try to do? So first, like can be load balancing. So it can distribute the traffic across multiple Express instance. Okay, of course, in our lab or maybe in your project, you're not really using it. By default, sometimes we have a like round robin or sometimes maybe using a time. Okay, different way. You may not using, but if you're interested, you can like later try to look at how can use Nginx to do the load balancing. And for the security part, so of course we will handle the SSL, okay, encryption, and also we can add some additional layer of security. That's what we mentioned before. And of course the performance side when we're using, so it can Nginx can help us to optimize, handle the static content, so we can reduce the load on the Express.js, and it can also hide the internal working like of the server. Okay, so they don't know which local host, which port are you actually using. They only know, okay, if using this domain, this IP, then I will go to this server, but I don't know like which service is like running or handling. So if with better. Also, we can set the rate limiting. Okay, we can prevent the DDoS attack. So by the limiting the request at the policy level 2. So it's pretty good, and we can use it. And when we running on the server side, then you need to like install the Node.js and also like install all those firmware. So I will quickly demonstrate, and I already upload the files. So right here I have got the app.js. Okay. So when you look at this, just like really simple express, and then it will return the if by default. Okay, so one import and then return the hello from the express. This one for testing. Okay, for you, you need to elaborate and then later, okay, query more, and then of course you need to connect with the database. Okay, so the next project you. That's why I say the one you need to complete is sending the habit. So after come back. So after I cover the Nginx this part, then you should like able to doing I finish this like this part. And to set up the Express, I give you the source code is pretty straightforward. Just like requested the firmware. Okay, and just like sending reply and then running as a port 3000 for the Nginx. So right now I already connect to my server. Okay, so I have a server. So this one I'm not using VM. I'm not using my local server. So this one is the server I'm using right now. So it's under Ubuntu 24.10 version. So I'm doing SSH. I will connect to it. Okay, and of course, like always, the step we will start with the like update and upgrade. So I just execute quickly, and then let me see. Okay, So let me just like quickly as a first step, if you need to install anything, then you should better like to do an update to fetch the source list and then do an upgrade to upgrade all the contents. But if you start as a production, so we are not really recommend to upgrade sometimes because the conflict between the version it doesn't support. So it will cause crash. Okay. So just like be careful if you're using upgrade, but you're still using update to fetch the new list. Because it's just a new server, so it takes some time. So while it's running, so I just let it run and I'll just show you. And then you can use the sudo apt install nginx and then you can check it. Okay. And for this one, we start with the basic will be the IP. So we can check it using IP and also actually using a domain name. So later we'll show you how to use the domain to handle it. Okay. And mainly after we install it, we need to configure the nginx as a reverse type proxy. So we need to edit the one we use the sudo nano edx nginx size available. So sometimes I don't like to keep the default one, so I will delete it. Of course, you can remove it. Okay, and then create your own. So we'll okay, we can the sudo nano and then create another name. So everything will be okay. And then we will change the configuration, like forward the request to port 3000. So it will help us to handle. So we will start with the one like port 80 first, like everything start with the port 80. And later we will to enhance the security. So if you remember, we have TLS CSCI, so we can enable. So, but everything need to begin with the port 80. So we can install the support. So if you need to check for the more details, I will recommend you to see. Okay, so you can find it using Ubuntu. Depends on your version, 24, and then Nginx less encrypt, so you can search like by this keyword. And I will always recommend Nginx using the digital ocean to match it. And of course, there are some other website you can refer to. And this time I will look at the digital ocean. Okay, so digital ocean, and it will show you some like basic steps. So of course, like there's a more like explanation that it will tell you what's the meaning. So because some of them it also have some concept in related to networking. So I didn't really go into details, but if you're interested, you can like try to look at it, or like feel free to discuss with me if you like really want to work on this part. So mainly we're using the support. Okay, so support is a before they I'm using less encrypt to do it, but this time they changed it a little bit, so you can using the snap install. So I give you the same, so you can refer it, and then they need to reverse the core. So if you did install it, then you can remove it. If no, you can skip this step and then using the snap install the classic support. Okay, and then you just do the linkage, the support. Okay, so after you able to do it, the key part is change the configuration of Nginx. Okay, configuration file, and then we always using the sudo nginx to test it. And after we test it, and we always try to like reload. Sometimes you see people we say using the restart, but restart because you need to restart the application, so it's getting slow. But reload is it try to fetch the configuration one more time, so it will be faster. Also, is highly recommended. And after you're able to do that, of course, like if you remember, we talked about that firewall. So remember, always allow your open SSH connect to your server, and then because we are going to handle the port 80 and port 443, so we sometimes we allow the nginx full as a beginning. Okay, so because we already know it, we are going to do, so we try to allow the nginx full. So you will see if you check that you have the firewall, the status, you should be allowed. Okay, so last part will be right here. You see support. We are mainly for nginx, and this for the domain. So it depends on if you are putting the IP. So you can just one IP. If you want to let it handle with the www, I don't want to. So you can just have one domain. It's okay. And you need to follow like agree with some they are using the service. So you need to like agree input your content, and then if you're able to complete all the steps, it will show you successfully like install it. And also you can check the auto renewal. Okay, but for this one, I quickly let you move it. So right here, after you finish everything, then you can check your we can modify. Okay, modify will be change the port to 443 and also handle the redirection. So here will be the configuration right here. So start with the Nginx as a beginning. We try to listen to port 18, okay, server name, so maybe your domain. And here is the key part, is the color proxy. Okay, so we will try to pass the proxy to the localhost 3000. So that's what we're running our Express.js. Okay, and one more thing, maybe some of you may asking, okay, how can we start? Okay, maybe sometimes we're using npm to run the Express. Okay, but you say why I didn't get it? Because you need to run it as a service. Okay, or like run it in the background. So I will tell you later, but if you are like hurry up or are able to follow anything, I recommend you can like install one more called the PM2. So PM2 is let us to install it npm PM2, so we can install it. And this one help to start a service or application like run as a service in the background, so we can handle it. Okay, so of course, I will show how to use this one, but for demonstration, I can start the server and doing testing. Okay. So right now, let me see. Okay, and then I will do the sudo, and then we can install the Nginx. Okay, I forgot the apt. Okay, so I just say give it some time, and then of course, like you can see we can you check the Nginx version. Okay, oh, so good. Okay, of course there we have more advanced, but you can do it later. Just try to hide the Nginx version or something like that. Okay, and after we able to do it, of course, sudo systemctl. We are not going to restart it, but I want to show you it's called status. You're going to always checking, so it's when it's running active. Okay, and then one more things we're going to check is our directory. That let me try to site available. Okay, so here's the site available. So you will see right here. So we have the default. Okay, so default file. So if I try to do nano default, so you see all the contents like listen to port server, and then all the contents right here. Name, server names, location, and how can handle business for the web. But for me, I don't really need it. Okay, so I prefer to remove it. Okay, so sudo remove and then edx nginx and then available, and then we'll delete the default one. Okay, so right now if I this say one more time, then you will see. Okay, so it's empty right now. And sometimes I don't like to keep the actually there's one more thing is about Nginx size enable. So enable is the one is running the configuration without. So okay, so you can use the unlink so to remove it, and or you can using sudo rm like to remove the etx nginx etc nginx site enable. Okay, so default like this. But when I because I unlike it, so it already removed, so you cannot see it anymore. So far right now it's like it's okay, like pretty good. Okay, that's what I want. And then there's a several thing. Okay, before I move on, I just like tell me, okay, so after we able to check it and for testing the domain, of course you can keep it, but because I want to like quickly show you how can we like finish the order pass, and I will like show you how to change the configuration file. So start with port 80, and then later I will let you to try to install the let's encrypt and then change to port 443. Okay, how can we get the first reply? And then of course let you know like when the client is sending the request, they may HTTPS to a server. So Nginx will like work as a reverse proxy. So when we receive it, so Nginx will redirect to HTTPS, and then the proxy will send the request like to the Express app. So running on the local 3000. Okay, so the Express server itself will process the request and send the response back. So or like repair some like we call it API data. So that's what we need to do like for your project need to do. And then the engines will send the response back to the client. That's like so when here everything as we say, we try to have a given a better SSL encryption, and also the enhance the data privacy, and then for better performance, because it can handle the static contents and SSL. Also, we can like offload the Express server directly and then scalability, so it's more easy to configure like for future like load balancing distributed traffic. So when we have multiple Express instances, so there's a advantage. And so far, I will move on, go back to the lab. Okay, so I will start with the sudo nano, and then because I want to create my own configuration. Let me do it slightly slower, and then I create API server. Okay, so or you can create any name. So it's empty, and I will start with this one. Port 80. So I will like paste it right here. And of course, you need to modify. You can use the IP domain or the your domain or IP whatever the name you will use, because I already create one and I just call it. Okay, so I have one right here, and then sudo. And what we need to do, because we need to link the files to the enable. I need to wait a little bit. It takes some time to API server and then etc nginx site enable. Okay, so right here. And always we do the really important step is doing testing. So once you see the nginx configuration file syntax okay and successful, at least it looks all right. And what should we do? Nginx and systemctl reload nginx. Okay. And of course, you can check the status, is it running all good? Okay. And because right now we don't have the localhost. Okay, so we're sending the proxy. So next step, what we need to do, we need to set up the our Express, the first project. Okay, so maybe I will cd to the SRV right here. So this one will be empty. So I will start with the sudo. I will create a folder, make directory. Okay, so under this directory, I will SRV will be right here. I will go CSCI CSCI right here, and then I will just put it right here under the project, and just like create a directory. Okay, of course you can have some log files, but right now I didn't add any log, and then I just change it to CSCI. Okay, so right here. So when I say empty, and if you know, we have some basic comments we are going to use. I need to change the change ownership like recursive, and then I can say right here, what's it? And for the ownership, I will use maybe I will use the account right here, so I can directly access and giving the group okay access. So if you learn in cybersecurity or like other class, if you know, so and then I should say, and then I will using a sudo chmod. Okay, so I will change it. I would like to give thing as 775. So I can ask you like what's the meaning of this one. So what does it mean for 775? Then I read write execute read write execute. Okay, and then read execute. Okay, okay. So we'll be like this, and then giving the parameter like R will be the recursive. So all the nested folder. So if I want to check the directory right here, so right now I have nothing. And okay, so in this part, and of course, you feel free, you can use the we need to install the if you know the we need to use the npm, okay, and also Node.js. Okay, so how can we install it? And if you forgot or somehow like if you don't remember, of course we can use the direct apt install it. So we can like let's say Ubuntu install Node.js like this. Okay, so we can like directly install the Node.js using the sometimes we can use the nvm. Okay, so we can change it and like install the latest one, and I'll just like getting the current version. Okay, and then let me copy it. So you see like pretty quick. And I would like to check the node version. Oh, good. Okay, maybe I check the npm version. Okay, so right now you see in our previous lab, I just like telling you, okay, part by part. Okay, so right now we try to really building it on the server side. Okay, so right here, and right now under this directory we already have it. And what should we do? What should we do is like, okay, right now we need to start to like our project, right? We can use the npm or sudo npm like to do the initialize it. Okay, we can initialize it. So it's like, and then we can, of course, we can install some unnecessary package we're going to use, because this one I don't only because right here let me show you the source code right here. Okay, so because we're using the express only, so I will just install it express and save it. And after I able to install it, then you will see I will list the file. You will see the node modules, the package.json file. So it's like right here, and I will do it like sudo. Actually, the reason why I do not require sudo because the directory. So I would like to show the permission right here. You see, I will change the direction, and of course, like later if I need to change the let it handle by the nginx, remember to change the group to w.data and then recursive. And let's check one more time. So you see the group is changed. Okay, so it's pretty good. And this time I'm going to like nano, and then I call it call the API server. Okay, or sometimes we call the index JS, like if by default. So we can like index.js, and I'll just like put it right here and save it. Okay, so I would like to check. Okay, so if I want to we have different way. Sometimes we can use that like called the npm start. So if you need to use the start, you need to check. Okay, so or like npm run depends on the index file or like .json. So maybe if you want to like using the node and then just running the called the index.js. So still okay. So you see running on the port 3000. Okay, and I want to check one thing is like what kind of return. Okay, of course like we have something like I have not yet set the firewall, so I would like to let you to try, and then I will see, and then so our target is like once I pass it to the server, and then the server able to like respond. Okay, so of course right here for the testing I changed the domain, but I need to check this one. And then in this moment, of course, like we want to see, and then how can we check? And give me a second, let me connect to the server. So if we let's go back to here. After we are able to finish all this step, then we can of course, like how can we get a reply or like the content, how can we check it? So here's for the testing. So we can use crew. Okay, and then maybe we can test the local host 3000. We'll add the HTTP right here, so you see a complete format. Okay, so hello. Okay, so on the server side, we know, okay, it's working right now. Okay, and for the next step is that I need to make sure the API server and then like the policy handle well and able to return the contents. Okay, and because suppose like after I put the domains right here and the domain will return. Of course, like because I just set up, I need to address the DNS. Okay. Of course, if I want to like make it more straightforward, easier, and I can put the IP address. Like let's say this one terminal right here I'm running is like running the local server. And then let me show. Yeah, okay, let me show you the site enable. So right here you see the API server, right? So sudo unlink site API server. Okay, and then okay, so I already unlink it. So if I check it one more time, you see, okay, no files, right? So this stuff. Actually, I'm not really recommend you edit the files like server block directly like on available, but this is not a good practice or like it's not safe. I recommend you try to set up local files and then copy the file to such available. Okay, so but because like to me it's just like pretty simple, straightforward for demonstration, so I just directly edit it. But I would not recommend you to do it in this way. Okay, and then let's see the need to get the IP address of my patient. Okay, let me copy the IP address. Okay, so here will be the server IP address. Okay, and then if as sure you remember, because we need to allow the Nginx and allow it. So I will edit this part, but I changed to the IP address first. I need to test, and then once it's okay, then I will like edit the firewall. Okay, and I doing the linkage one more time to enable. Okay, and see, and I will always do the checking. Okay, so all the configuration looks nice. Okay, so everything looks nice, and if you just letting you know, we have a sudo is the, if you remember our digital ocean, so we can use the ufactor and then allow nginx. If you forgot, then of course we can do it one more time. Ubuntu 24, and then let's and encrypt. Okay, so we can just say maybe they're using the deal. So right here, and just like right here, just showing how can we check the status. Okay, so let's check what is the UF there. Right now, what's the status? Okay, so far right now, right now in this moment, it's like it's not active. okay, right? So maybe I'm using the enable to start the user. Okay, existing is, and then I was using the code sudo user allow the engine full, and also I will sudo user allow. One more thing is important. It will like if you forgot to allow it, it will cause you your SSH like always being disconnected or not able to access it. So remember to allow your open SSH. And this time we can like use check it one more time. You have the status. Okay, right here. So as well as a reason I'm using full because I will need to handle the HTTP and HTTPS. Of course, if you like add them separately, HTTP and HTTPS is the same. Okay, but for me because I already know I'm going to handle both of them, like using Nginx to handle like port 80 and 443. Okay, I'm going to have some security or redirection, so I'm going to allow both of them. And then right now I would like to see. Okay, right now I try to set the policy and the reverse policy to local host and then make sure it's still running. And then I will try to see like right here and then continues it doesn't support. Okay. Oh, okay. Because this domain I handle with others. Let's see. Because I try to bundle others domain together. So in case there's some DNS, it doesn't request that I need to fix that DNS before I able to access it. Okay. Okay, so that one is another IP address. And you will see right now, right here, I changed the Nginx configuration and changed the Hello Express. So you see everything connected. Okay, I use the browser, putting the IP address, and then you will able to get it. Okay, so running, and so far will be this part, and then for the lab. Okay, so because I know some of you maybe don't, if you didn't open the set up the AWS, okay, EC2, if you never open an account, if you 1 year, and then we have a free instance, then you can feel free to use that one and set up all the same, like choose the Ubuntu and then set kind of similar, everything similar. Also, you can submit, it's more secure. You are not using your password to connect to it, but you can use it, your key certificate to connect to a server. After you're able to connect to a server and try to complete this step, okay? So that means that you should able to like connect. But of course you can using the EC2, AWS EC2, their DNS or the IP address to connect to it. And then but if you need to like work on it, remember to change your configuration. EDCM Nginx config. Let's see. They have the nano engines configuration. Okay, one thing, be careful because the domain for AWS is too long. So remember, so you need to let the server hash bucket size, this one, to like uncomment it and then change the 64 to maybe 128 or 256. I think 256 will be better. Okay, so depends on your domain name like length. Okay, so because for this one I don't have to change it, so you don't have So it depends on yours. So I will recommend if for the AWS is too long, then you can better to change it to 256. So we can put them together. Okay, that's what you need to do. And this time I'm using the IP address, but of course later you can use the domain wherever. And here's a whole big structure. Okay, so that's how we can use. So I access the domain and then using the nginx have a proxy and I say it to the express.js. And later, if you remember the structure, I give you some example. So how can we use the express.js like using get method or post method to pass the data? So the next step, and then later I'll show you that after you install the MongoDB on the server, and how can we connect the HappyJ the Express to the MongoDB. Okay, so you can save the data. Okay, I will give you some time to prepare, and please let me know or like send me the email if you have some difficulty to set up this part, because certainly I know like for some techniques you need to handle will be not only the Raspberry Pi itself, but also like some network knowledge and also like some security. Okay, and then also handle the server side. Okay, so I try to break down all the labs like part by part. So I wish you can able to follow. Okay, and so far I will stop by the lab in this moment, and then I will continue later. Like next time will be how can we connect to the database and then make this like how connection like goes better. Okay, and that's it for this lab. And thank you so much.